Hi everybody, thank you very much for choosing to join us here at the Open Day today. My name's Matt, I'm one of the GB undergraduate recruitment officers here at Queen's University Belfast. I'm going to be telling you a little bit today about what it's like to be a GB student studying at Queen's, but it won't only be myself. I'm going to be joined by my colleague Greg Litt, who's a student here at the minute, and he'll be telling you a few of the frequently asked questions that students ask when they think about coming and studying here at Queen's. An overview of what we're going to be covering. We're going to be looking at Queen's University itself. I'm going to give you a really brief overview of some of the key points of reasons why you should come and study here. We're going to look at Belfast itself and what it's like to be a student in the city. We're going to talk a little bit about money and some of the benefits of being a student from GB coming to study here in Belfast. And then, as I said earlier, Greg will run you through some of the frequently asked questions of things that you might be wondering and thinking about when you put your application in and when you're considering whether to attend and enrol here. So in terms of the university itself, that picture there is a picture of the Lanyon building. I've got a really quick video just to show you, which will show you our campus itself, and you'll see the Lanyon building and the grand scale that it's on for you to study here as well when you come to enrol. So that gave you a little taste of what the campus is like, but I would definitely recommend exploring some of the features of the Open Day, which will give you the opportunity to look around the campus and find out a little bit more about it as well. But in terms of the university itself, I'll run through a few points that really just lead towards the excellence of what a degree here at Queen's University Belfast is like. We're ranked in the top 200 in the world. We're ranked 22nd in the world for International Outlook. We're the 9th oldest university in the UK. We're ranked first in the UK for research intensity, and we're a member of the Russell Group. So for those of you that don't know, the Russell Group is a group of 24 leading UK universities that are research intensive. The benefit for you means that when you do come here and study here at Queen's, you're going to be getting lectures and being taught by academics that are really on the cutting edge of their field. So you'll know the ins and outs of that industry that you're looking to go into and be on the edge of that field when you're applying for jobs as well. And as I said, all those things lead towards the sort of excellence of a degree here at Queen's University will give you. The image that you can see there is Belfast itself. So the City Hall is the centre of the picture where it's got those green domes. You can see the Harlan and Wolff cranes in the back, or Samson and Goliath cranes. And Belfast itself is a fantastic place to come and study for a GB student. The city is known for its eclectic murals, lively music scene, friendly community, and students find a warm and affordable setting for university life. And there's a few things that I'd pick out of there. So, for example, affordable setting. It's a lot cheaper to come and study here in Belfast than it is to go to other major UK cities, like London, for example. But I'll talk about that a little bit later in the presentation as well. But in terms of the city, coming here and studying as a student, it's the capital city and the cultural centre of Northern Ireland. So there's lots of different things for you to get involved in while you're a student here. It's a small and compact and walkable city. So that means that you don't have to spend lots of money getting around the city on buses or trains. The picture in the middle there, the students in front of the City Hall. And that's probably about a 5-minute walk, 10-minute walk if you're a really slow walker from the centre of the city all the way out to the university. It's at most a 10-minute walk. But around the university itself, we've got fantastic facilities like the Botanic Gardens or the Ulster Museum for you to go and visit. And then within the city itself, you've got fantastic things like Titanic Belfast and the Crumlin Road Jail as well. In terms of nightlife, coming to university and going to university, nightlife is an important part for a lot of people. And Belfast, whatever it is that you're into, will be able to fulfill that for you. So whether it's traditional pubs or live music venues, sports bars, cocktail bars, nightclubs, Belfast has everything that you might possibly want to attend. So I would definitely recommend speaking to some students today that are on the student panels later in the day, but also in the online chat that you can speak to them as well. And if nightlife is something that's really important to you, speak to them about it and get their input as well. In terms of getting to and from Belfast, it's a really convenient place to get to. So there's 58 direct flight destinations from Belfast. We've got 99 cross-channel sailings as well each week if you don't want to fly out. But we do have 2 airports in Belfast, and Dublin Airport is only 90 minutes away. And it's roughly an hour's flying time from all major UK cities. So it's really quick, easy and convenient to get to Belfast itself. Before we move on to Money Matters, I've got a really quick video to show you that'll just highlight some of the fantastic facilities and some of the life within Belfast that students can take advantage of.
There's so much going on in Belfast in terms of arts and culture that you can get involved in as well. There's culture night in Belfast in early October.
The Cathedral Quarter is great for a night out. It's just a great atmosphere.
Limelight is another one of my favourites, and sometimes they'll have live bands on there. It's really nice to hear like Irish bands as well. There's things constantly on in the Lyric, in the Mac, all the theatres around here. Really easily accessible, and you often get student prices as well.
I mean, I go down to St George's Market on a Friday morning. Such a variety of foods and arts and crafts and things, and as part of your time at Queen's, you have to go to St George's Market and experience it.
One of the reasons I came to Queen's was to experience new culture and have a bit of an adventure as well.
It's very fun to come here, it's very safe, and it's very exciting to be in Belfast.
So hopefully that video highlighted a few of the fantastic opportunities that students get to take part in when they come and study here at Queen's. We're going to talk a little bit about money now and some of the differences between studying here at Queen's and studying at other GB universities as well. But as you can see there, Northern Ireland is the lowest student living cost in the UK. And it's over £5,000 per year cheaper for students to live in Northern Ireland compared to London. So it's not that this should be the only reason that you make your decision to come and study here at Queen's. It's a fantastic university with a really high quality degree, but it is cheaper than going and studying in London, for example. So if you did choose to go and study in London, then you would have to find that £5,000, whether that's through working or extra funding. Whereas here at Queen's, you do get more for your money within Northern Ireland itself. On top of that affordability aspect, we do also look to reward hard work and excellence. So we have scholarships and awards available for new students coming into the university. We have an entrance scholarship competition. We have the Lloyd's Scholars and then the sports scholarships for the 5 main sports here at Queen's University. But for our GB students, we do have the undergraduate award, which is GB students only. And the undergraduate award is available to students from England, Scotland, Wales, the Isle of Man, or the Channel Islands. And to all those students who gain A, B, B or above in their A levels or the equivalent. So if you're doing BTECs or other qualifications, you are still eligible. We'll just use the equivalent. There isn't an application process, so you don't have to get in touch with us. we'll process that application for you. And then the university will pay half of the accommodation costs in your first year. So that's a saving of over £2,300. And you will also receive £180 towards the flights home each year of study. So that cost of travelling home and travelling to university, we help with that, but also we do help with the cost of your accommodation as well. If you have any other further questions with that, then feel free to ask through the chat today. But also, you can get in touch with myself, and I've got my email address at the end of this presentation as well. So from there, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to some of the frequently asked questions that GB students have. So I'll invite Greg to turn his camera and microphone on. So Greg, do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm in my final year of my business management degree within the Queen's Management School.
And you're a GB student, are you? So what college did you go to in GB?
Yeah, so I'm originally from near Chester. So I went to a sixth form, Brian sixth form in Nantwich. I did my A-levels there, and I applied to Queen's through adjustment.
Oh, brilliant. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through a few of these questions. If you do have any questions that aren't on the screen there, then Greg is actually on the chat today. So on the screen that you're currently on the GB Open Day page, there will be a chat option. And if you click on that, Greg will be on there and he'll be able to answer any questions live for you as well. So one of the questions that students often ask when they're moving over from Great Britain is, how do I get to Belfast? So can you tell us a little bit about how you travel across and what that's like?
Yeah, so pre-COVID, you could hop on a plane from Manchester and go to international for as little as £4.99 single. They were class. The tickets, my last plane cost me £10, I think, again from Manchester. But for me, I'll fly either from Manchester or Liverpool, just as they're equal distance from my house, into either international or city. And then more recently, I brought my car over with me, so I took the ferry from Liverpool to Belfast docks, which was smooth sailing. So there's many ways to get here. You know, as you pointed out earlier on in the presentation, there's numerous flights every day, and then there is ferries as well if you'd rather take the ferry.
And have you found that process really easy of getting over to Belfast? Like, are the flights really easy to catch? Yeah.
Oh, like you chat. I was just chatting to my mates about how they try to take the trains and stuff within England, and I'm like, yeah, I get on the plane and it's so much quicker. You know, the only hassle sometimes is security, but it's no worse than any other transport really. And it's what, half an hour for me from Manchester to here, maybe 25 if the wind's pushing the plane the right way. So it's nice and quick, to be fair.
Yeah. Okay. And is there the question is there many other students from the rest of Great Britain?
Oh, there's loads. Like I've become quite friendly with both from the Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, but also there are so many from England, Scotland, and Wales. On my course, we have such a diverse group. We have internationals, and then we also have a lot of GB students from London, Leeds, further up north, and we've got some from further down south in England. So yeah, there's plenty of GB students who are all pretty much in the same boat in that first few weeks when you come over, and you get to know them and you start to meet new people. So yeah, you'll meet a lot of GB students.
Okay. And something that students often ask me when I'm speaking to them about studying here at Queen's is, do they have to move everything back home each summer?
No, absolutely not.
What do you do over the summer with your things?
Yeah, so I'm fortunate enough. I've got relatives within Belfast where I leave my stuff. But my flatmates and other course mates, they have a few options. So they can either, when they look for accommodation, they try and get it so there's a bit of an overlap. So they just move their stuff from one house to another. Or there is a company who are with Queen's or always at Elms, and they come in a van and they box it for you over the summer. And then you just get back in touch when you're coming back over to Belfast, and they'll bring it out of storage to whatever your new address is for you. So it's really handy, very quick, and I believe it's good value for money, according to my friends.
Brilliant. And you've sort of already answered this question, but how expensive is it to go home? How often do you go home?
Yeah, like as I said, it's if you want to go home, if I went to go home today, I'd be paying through the nose because it's that last minute thing, and it's the same in England. If you plan in advance, your train fares are cheaper than booking it a day before you go. I think the cheapest, as I've said, I've got it for £4.99, but then the most expensive, I think I've paid over 150 quid. But if you think about it, it's still cheaper than getting a train to some unis within England. So, it's one of them. And how often? So in first year, I'd rarely went home. I really enjoyed myself here. I was loving life. So I'd go home maybe once a term, and then I went home for Christmas, obviously, and the summer. And then in second year, there was a few family issues that we had within the family. So I was going home more frequently, maybe every other weekend, just to deal with the family life. And yeah, so it's reliable. There's no like you can't go home. You can literally get on a plane any day of the week, go home, and come back.
Okay. And so, final frequently asked question that we normally get from GB students is, what's the best thing about being a Queen's student?
Oh, what to say and what to say. That's the key thing for this one. I think what I've really enjoyed about being at Queen's and being a student is all the clubs and societies you can join. There is literally hundreds. I was doing it the other day, and I was scrolling through to see what was out there, and there is a club for everything. But also, you've kind of alluded to it earlier on, as you were saying, Belfast is cheap to live in, and it's really good. It gives you a few extra pounds, to enjoy the food and culture that Belfast has to offer. And it does help when it's a bit cheaper. Everything's a bit cheaper. It just means you can enjoy it and you can spend your money on things that you perhaps wouldn't have been able to spend it on. And as you were saying, Belfast and Queen's, obviously the buildings are dotted around the city, but it has a campus feel, which is really good, especially when you want to go like to the live music that happens at Limelight or one of the other concert halls. It's great. Everything's just so close, and that's what I love about being at Queen's.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for joining us, Greg. Greg's going to be on the live chat, as I said earlier. So if you do have any follow-up questions or anything that he said, or you've got any questions that weren't asked here, then you can speak to Greg at any point on the live chat on this page. Also, make sure that you do tune into the student panels, where it'll not only be Greg, but it'll be other students from Great Britain, but also from Northern Ireland as well. So it'll give you a bit more of an insight. But thank you very much for joining us today, Greg.
No worries. Look forward to hearing from some of you guys in the panels. Bye.
Cheers. So in terms of next steps and what to do next, so you're at an open day, a virtual open day, which is fantastic. First step for you to sort of think about the information that you want to find out. I would really recommend looking at those subject talks, finding out about the campus, speaking to students' union, sports teams, because as Greg was saying there's fantastic opportunities to get involved in different clubs and societies. And that really can make your time here at Queen's a fantastic thing, not only to get a brilliant degree and a high quality degree, but also to get different skills and abilities from sports teams and societies as well. Tune into the student panels, get a student's opinion and talk to them on the live chat if you don't want to speak to them in the student panel as well. For further information, I really recommend looking at our undergraduate virtual events. So if you search for the undergraduate virtual events at Queen's University, you can register for upcoming events that will give you really good information about your application, but also watch the previous events that you might have missed already. But thank you very much for joining us today. Like I said, feel free to get in touch with anyone here at the university on this open day to get more information. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the day as well. Thank you very much.